Good morning, students and viewers. So, I hope that you have already read the text of this chapter, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. Today, I will be giving you a short synopsis of this chapter and later on discuss some key points and question answers with you. So, sit down with a notebook and pen and do write down the important points for the assignments to follow. So, you will be able to relate to this class because, as you can see on your screen, there are different ways of learning. The first picture shows you a boy sitting on a computer and he's learning through computers just like you. And again, moving e-text means without a physical book too, you can read, just like I have sent you the PDFs where you can read the book on your screen. Schools of the future. Yes, many say that in the future schools will be running through computers and laptops, and this is exactly what you are doing now also. Virtual classrooms. Yes, exactly like the class that you are sitting in now. In the future, or in some places now also, there are virtual classrooms where students learn through video conferencing with teachers and through computer programmed softwares and apps just like Mesmerize and many others, where one can go and learn one of the things which are taught through cloud learning and virtual classroom. Then robotic teachers. Yes, in Bangalore, in one of the schools in Bangalore, a robot teacher has already started teaching. Yes, and AI, artificial intelligence, also is very popular nowadays. So, in the future, you will be having robotic teachers as well as teachers who are artificially intelligent. Means they will not be human beings, they will be computers from inside. So, this is just for entertainment. Uh, a story written many years ago and which is slowly turning out to be true. So, the first point we will take down is the story takes us to the world of future where computers will play a major role in the field of education. Books in schools, as we know now, will perhaps not exist. Yes, because of the expenses occurred in buying books and for the ebooks you can store hundreds of books in a single pen drive, whereas you will not be able to travel with hundreds of books physically. So that is why books are being slowly replaced by ebooks and PDFs. The story opens with Margie writing in her diary about an old book that Tommy had found. Margie was reminded of her grandfather, who had once talked about his grandfather who went to an actual school where the students were taught by human teachers. Tommy was 13 years old and Margie was of 11. They found many strange things in the book. One of the strangest things was that after reading the book became useless. The text written on it did not change the way it happened on their computer screen. So, this is how the story opens, which I believe you have already read. And if not, do read the first chapter. So, Margie is a little girl and she is writing in her diary. And what is she writing about? About an old book that her brother Tommy had found. And she was reminded of her grandfather, who also talked about his grandfather who had been to an actual school, like y'all, like you students are going to an actual school where you are taught by human teachers, where students were taught by human teachers. See, this story, this girl is some way in the future. Okay, so the future children are trying to remember the previous times. And at present in the story, Tommy was a 13-year-old boy and his sister Margie was 11. They also found many strange things in the books, like the words on the page did not change after they had read, because in order for them to read the next, they had to turn the page. Whereas in the computer screen, there are apps which make it automatic in nature. Then you can see this is how Margie was studying and the mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen. It was a program which was teaching her different things. However, Margie and Tommy lived in the future world in the year 2157, where education was completely computerized. They did not go to schools. Instead, they had a special study room where a computer taught them. The computer teacher was programmed and adjusted according to the needs of each child. So, in the future, where Margie and Tommy lived in the year 2157, whole education sector was computerized and the children were learning from computers and robots, and they were these computers and robots were adjusted according to the needs of each child. Like in a game, there are three levels. You can play it in the easy mode, in the medium mode, or the tough mode. So according to the preferences of the child, the computer or the robot would teach them. On reading the book, they found some things that the pages of the book they found were yellow and crinkly. Margie and Tommy found it funny to read the words that didn't move like they moved on the screen. When they turned back to the page before, it still had the same words on it. Margie hated school. She was having problems with learning geography from her mechanical teacher. It was black, large, and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and questions were asked, all in a special room in their own house. It could also calculate the marks in no time. Margie hated the slot where she had to insert her homework or test papers. Once the geography sector of her mechanical teacher was graded too quick so that her marks got worse and worse. The county inspector rebuilt it in 1 hour. So now, what do we see? That these children found pages were yellow and crinkly. Yes, as a book gets older, the pages due to oxidization also turns yellow, which is a natural process. And the words did not move like on the screen, which we already discussed. And another point was that Margie did not like school. She hated school. Why? Because the school was in her own house, in a special room, and because there was no human touch to the education. There was no actual human being teaching her, but it was a black, large, and ugly big screen. It was a screen which was teaching her, where all the lessons were shown. And there was a special slot where, just like an ATM machine or something, she had to put in her homework or test papers and it would be graded very quickly. And her marks were getting worse and worse. So much so that the county inspector, the one in charge of servicing the robots, had to come and rebuild it in 1 hour. As you can see in the picture, where Margie and Tommy are reading, they are discussing that their grandfather's grandfather had an actual teacher and it was a man, a human being. Both Tommy and Margie wondered at the book found. What did they wonder? Margie also wondered how much fun it would be studying in a school, studying in a fun way with other children, and that too from a human teacher who gave them homework and asked questions. They had a special building where the children went to study, and they learned the same thing if they were the same age. Yes, like now, y'all go to school or y'all come to school and y'all each have classrooms and different sections, and different periods, and y'all are sitting with students of the same age and the same standards. So Margie and Tommy, they were wondering over these, that how much fun it would have been to sit together, make friends, and learn together, and even play together. So now we are at the final portion for this short synopsis of the text, which I hope you have already read. Message from the author, Asimov. The author's message is one of warning against the dangers of computerized homeschooling, which will deprive children of the benefits of the personal interactions between students and teachers, which help them develop social skills. So, this is one of the dangers, because if normal schooling is not done and computerized homeschooling is promoted in the future, the children will be deprived. They will not be able to make physical friends, and instead they will have to sit in a room locked up like you are now. They will not get the benefits of personal interactions with teachers and with friends. And without this, their social skills will be poorly developed. That is why, for a full all round development, a school is compulsory and a must for children to develop themselves into dutiful and healthy citizens. So, that is the lesson for today, students. I hope you have taken down essential points. Your homework will be to read the text and make a 200-word summary of the story. And please join us in the next lesson where we will discuss some question answers from this chapter. Thank you all. Please make a notebook, a fair notebook if you have one, where you will be writing a 200-word summary of this story with blue fountain ink. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.